Welcome back to Sous Vide Everything, guys. Have you ever been into an Indian restaurant? If you have, you probably saw butter chicken. And let me tell you something, it is delicious. I've never made it sous vide, and I can't wait to find out how it's gonna taste. Check it out. These are boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Usually butter chicken is made with chicken breast. However, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I love chicken thighs and I think they are way more flavorful. Like always, I do the butchering all by myself. Doing that allows me to save big bucks, but most importantly, allows me to keep the bones so that I can make stock later on. So if you can, always do the butchering yourself. The first thing we need to do is to season them, and I started with a good amount of salt. Then of course, we gotta use black pepper, followed by Indian Kashmir chili powder. Now hold on a second, you have to use the real stuff, especially if you want to bring those flavors from India. If you use our standard chili powder that we have here in the US, trust me, it would not be the same. I've done that, and it was something else but not butter chicken. Then you gotta throw in a good amount of garlic paste. Remember, exact amount and ingredients always in the description down below for you. Followed by ground up ginger. Now this one is important, you gotta use the real stuff. Just use a spoon and peel it all out as much as you can. Then take a micro grater and grind it all up. After a while, you're gonna be left with a good paste on the back. Then all you gotta do is scoop it up with a spoon and you are left with ground up ginger. Please do not replace with anything else. This gives a wonderful flavor that you can really tell. But now that we got all of our seasoning into the chicken, all there's left to do is mix it up and make sure every single one of them is coated. I do recommend you doing everything on a bow, but since we're making a video, this is a lot easier for you to see. And by the time I was done, this is what it looks like. I'm telling you friends, the smell that is coming out of this chicken, you can already tell it's gonna be good. The next thing to do is to bag it up and get it ready for sous vide. You want to keep those chicken as flat as possible. That way everything will cook nice and evenly. But after vacuum sealing them, they were ready for the water bath. But first, we gotta prepare our gravy. And I'm talking about an amazing butter chicken gravy. And here's how to make it. We started off with butter, a good amount of butter. Make sure you melt it nice and slow and it will be ready to go. Then throw in white onions and cook them well. Now you could use fresh garlic, but for some reason, garlic paste tastes a lot better for me. Remember that garlic burns, so make sure you keep it under medium heat. After mixing everything well, you gotta throw in all of your tomatoes. When looking for tomatoes, make sure that they're not too ripe and also not too green. As long as they have a nice soft feel to them, they are good to go. The next ingredient is cashew nuts. I know it sounds weird, but it gives a wonderful flavor. Fill it up with a little bit of water and let it cook. You wanna let this simmer down under medium-low heat for at least 25 minutes. That way all these ingredients can get to know each other. The next thing you wanna throw in is some sugar so you can cut out that acidity. And of course, you can't have Indian food without gram masala. The next thing I like to add is malt vinegar. That will give an amazing flavor to the gravy, followed by a little bit of white vinegar and the Kashmir chili powder. Of course, you cannot forget that one. Mix everything now and cook it for an additional 10 minutes. Remember to keep it under medium-low heat. Once that's up, taste it for seasoning, and if it needs a little bit of salt, make sure you add it, followed by some black pepper. Mix everything well and combine all those ingredients and taste it once again to make sure everything tastes amazing. Once you're happy with the taste, throw in some heavy whipping cream. That's what's going to be giving the finishing touch to this wonderful gravy. Now to make things easy, I recommend transferring it to a bowl. That way you can liquefy all the ingredients. You can use a regular blender, but a hand blender makes the job super simple. Just make sure you blend it on high and liquefied all the ingredients. One thing that you gotta keep in mind is that butter chicken is known because it's such a smooth sauce. And in order to do that, you gotta strain it. Work your spoon around to make sure by the end of it, you only have the tomato seeds left and a little bit of skin of the tomato, nothing else. But once all the straining is done, you are left with nothing else but a thick paste. And your butter gravy is as smooth as it gets. Check that out, my friends. This is exactly what you're looking for. And the taste is just wonderful. Now the next thing to do is to bag it up and get it ready to be warmed up whenever I'm ready for my butter chicken. The great thing is that you can make a very large amount of this butter gravy and save it individually anytime you want to use it. All you have to do is warm it up and it will be ready for your chicken. I've also decided to make an amazing Indian street food that I think you're really gonna enjoy. It's super easy to make and you probably have all the ingredients at home already. And of course, we gotta start with the dough, and these are all the ingredients I'm gonna be using. I throw in all-purpose flour, followed by some water, a good amount of vegetable oil. Now here's where I made a little mistake. You should always add your dry ingredients before adding your wet ones. So here I'm adding a little bit of salt. This was a mistake and it actually turned out okay. But always remember to mix your dry ingredients before you actually add the wet ones. But now all there's left to do is to mix everything well and make a dough. Once it becomes a dough, you want to knead it for at least 5 minutes. It should be a nice, soft, and smooth dough. As you can see, it's extremely watery, and that's exactly what you're looking for. The next thing to do is to cover it up and let it rest for about 30 minutes. As it's resting, I jumped right into the filling.
filling. And I started off with a little bit of butter and threw in some beaten eggs. You want to cook the eggs into your preferred doneness. You're basically trying to make scrambled eggs. I like mine a little bit runny, but hey, you are the master of your eggs. Make sure you make it how you like it. On a new pan, I threw in a little bit of vegetable oil, followed by some onions, and cook them well. Now add a little bit of garlic paste, some tomatoes, whichever one you have available. As you can see, I'm using cherry tomatoes because that's the one I had. Then I threw in some orange bell peppers, followed by a little bit of jalapeno, and cooked everything under medium-low heat for about 5 minutes. Then I threw in a little bit of Kashmir chili, followed by turmeric, freshly ground black pepper, and salt. Mix all the ingredients together and my vegetables are ready. The next thing is to throw them into the eggs and combine everything together. And that, friends, is our filling for our dough. I know it doesn't look like much, but it tastes amazing. By that time, my dough was ready to go. As you can see, when you let your dough rest, it becomes extremely stretchy, and that is exactly what you're looking for. Now, to make sure nothing is going to stick to your hand, you want to make sure you oil them. I'm using olive oil. Now, because this dough is extremely stretchy, everything can be done by hand. So I started off by making a ball. Place it on any surface and just start opening it up. Trust me, it is easy because it's super stretchy. Then add your filling and just wrap it all up. As you guys know, everything is better in street food, and this is one of Indian street food, and it is incredible. And it's something easy and simple to do that you probably have all the ingredients already on your pantry. Now forget about trying to make them perfect. I actually like the ones that burst a lot better than the ones that don't burst. So if yours looks just like me, trust me, they will be amazing no matter what. Now the next thing to do is just to fry them up until they are nice golden brown. You want to keep the pan on a medium-high heat. Make sure you fried all edges, and once that's done, this is what you're left with. I cannot emphasize how wonderful they taste. Give it a try and you won't be disappointed. But now that we have that ready, we're gonna go right back to our chickens, and I'm cooking all of them at 167 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. Remember, the gravy, I'm just gonna be warming it up for 10 minutes and no more than that. And I can't wait for you to see how it all comes together.
We got our beautiful gravy ready. All you have to do is just put it inside of the water bath and take it out to warm it up, everybody. And it warms up real quick. Do not leave it there too long. If not, the butter and also the actual cream will separate. With all that being said, I cooked my chicken at 167 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours, and it's ready, and it's time to take it out. Let's do it. Oh my goodness, we have that chicken ready, everybody. And if you are ever thinking of throwing the juices from the bag away, please don't do it. Save this. This is wonderful. There's a lot of uses for it, including just basically cook some noodles, throw it in here. You will have an amazing ramen. Just like this, it is concentrated, it's not diluted, it was not boiled with water. It is amazing. And if you don't want to eat it today, freeze it, save it for another day. It is amazing. Again, don't throw it away. With all that being said, my chicken is ready. Now all there's left to do is to put it together and enjoy this beautiful butter chicken. And I know, doesn't look that good right now, but watch this. All right, everybody, here I have my beautiful attempt of Indian food. Yeah, Omar? Very good. My Indian friends, please, I don't know if it's traditional, I don't know if I did it justice, but it's my take on it.
Hey?
My take on it. Yeah, I can tell you one thing, I do love Indian food. Have you ever been to an Indian restaurant?
Delicious, I love it.
This is kind of like street food, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, I don't know how to explain it to you what it actually is. So what I'll do is you just try it, right, Mama?
You made it and you don't know how to explain what it is.
No, I can tell you one thing.
That's dangerous.
I can tell you one thing, it looks good. Now, I'm guessing you could put whatever it is that you want to put it in there. If you wanted to put some meat inside, then it's okay. But this one is 110% vegetarian.
Okay.
Yeah? Give it a try. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
That is amazing.
Wow.
Extremely flavorful. Also, The pastry kind of crunchy. Oh,
Omelette wrapped on a
pastry.
on a fried tortilla or something.
Exactly. The dough is, I think, the secret for this little thing. Because the dough is crispy, but also chewy.
Yeah. While you were going crazy over there, I'll try.
So this is kind of like a curry, but also it's like, so it's served with rice, Mama. You gotta get some rice first.
All right, so let me get some.
Put a little bit of rice. Now you did the complete opposite.
You
This
realize
spoon
that?
here was for the rice, and this one.
Hey.
Now, put a little bit of that on top. You know, just by the look of it, it reminds me, what does it remind you of?
My favorite dish, stroganoff.
Stroganoff, everybody. If you have not seen that video yet,
Give me some more chicken.
I
over
know,
here.
right? Because you got the wrong spoon, Mama. Look at that. The spoon only wants everything. I think sometimes when you get desperation of wanting to eat as fast as possible, you mix up everything, Mama.
Listen, I'll be honest. It looks so good. I just wanted to dig into it.
Look at Mama. Mama is ready,
I'm
man.
ready to go whenever you are.
Okay, Jose, our first attempt of butter chicken sous vide style. You ready, buddy?
Let's do it.
Cheers, brother.
Wow.
I rest my case.
Wow, that is flavorful.
Oh my Lord.
Wow.
Wow. Wait a second, everybody.
That's a good curry.
Yeah, and it's real curry. Even though it looks like it's stroganoff, you can
it's-
taste those Indian spices, everybody.
And
That
it's not like
is amazing.
it's not like that thick curry flavor that cloys your mouth and you're like,
Right.
cannot even drink it anymore. It's nice and subtle. And it's fresh.
Yeah.
Like you put mint on it or something.
No, man. It's also a little bit spicy, but not too spicy. Exactly. A little creamy, but not too creamy.
No.
Not too thick either, which I think it's perfect because it coats the rice nicely.
Looks very nice.
Every time I take a bite, I can't help but smile. How wonderful it is.
What do you have over here? It's like so fresh. It's almost like I can't find the words.
There's a lot of tomatoes, a lot of things. You're gonna watch the video, yeah? You watch the video and you make
It's
it.
killing me. It's like almost like you got a fresh sprig of mint and you're chewing on it, but it's not as strong as mint. But it's as fresh as that.
It's so good, it's making me cry.
Oh, it's so good.
Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in anything I use, everything is always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. And if you have any dishes from your country that you would like me to give it a try, comment down below. I love to make it. Might be one of the top dishes this year. That's how good it is, everybody. That is how good it is. One of the top dishes this year. Absolutely.